Hi, how you doing? This is the first in the series of exploring academic topics. Canute Exploration, your topic in a podcast, will be looking at a number of academic topics. It's a new uh, segment, so to speak, of Canute Exploration, your topic in a podcast. I'm Dr. Canute White. Call this segment Learn Habits, getting into the habit of learning. And we are here to also teach you, right? So there'll be a number of lectures by me, Dr. Canute White, and at times I'll have guest lecturers coming in. Topics range from psychology, management. Who knows? It could be for your child as well. Um, at the primary level, secondary level, elementary level, high school level, that is, and also at the college level. I said to you before, right? So today I'm going to be lecturing on combat leadership approach, organizational leadership. So we're looking at combat leadership approach today, and it's simple. No, there's a war going on at this time when I am recording this episode, and it's the war between the Ukraine and Russia. And you will appreciate this when you actually consider that war that's going on in that side of the world between the Ukraine and the Russians, right? Between Ukraine and Russia. So combat leadership, combat speaks to the military leadership approach, and naturally, so we can pull that from the 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 battlefield and bring it into the the organization. So let's see how we can do that now, as we look at this in this lecture. Interestingly, so 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 the mission. What is the mission of your organization? What is the mission of the team you are leading? What are you expecting from the members in your organization, the employees, the club members? What are you expecting? What are you expecting to accomplish at the end of your task? Perhaps you're leading for a while. Perhaps you're an organizational leader and you have a duty to perform. What are your expectations from those you lead? Why? Why you need to accomplish this? Why is this important that you need to consider also as a leader? Why is your mission important? And then you see that back in war, right? Why is the mission important? What is the mission? It's important for you to consider that in your organization. Take, for instance, in your school, if you're a school leader, right? If you are leading a health care organization, why is it important that you carry out your mission? And what is your mission that you need to know as you exert combat leadership in your organization? Ground, where the ground refer to your environment. What is the environment like in your school, in your organization, right? It's important for you to understand that. How will it negatively affect your group? How will the environment that you are in negatively affect your group? The school environment, the aggression within the school, the indiscipline within the school, how will it affect the teachers, and eventually your mission to educate students and to provide the sort of a connectivity um, with community and families um, within your school? Or will it affect, or if you're a social worker, or if you're leading a number of social workers, or will the ground, the communities that they will be working in affect your mission to provide community services, community support to the people in the community? So as a combat leader, you need to consider not only the mission but also the ground, the environment in which you're working, in terms of its impact on your group, and also the task that you have to perform, the mission. And the mission, the ground, then you need to consider as a combat leader the execution. When we talk about execution, we basically talk about how will you carry out your task to accomplish the mission that we first talked about. How will you carry out your task to accomplish the mission of giving service to communities as social worker, as a social work um, group? How do you carry out the mission to educate the students in your school, and connect to the community and families as you approach? How do you approach it in terms of the task that you need to perform? The strategies. So again, in all of this, we cannot forget strategic planning, right? You need to ensure that you develop, create the best strategies to perform these tasks, right? What are the strategies that you will use in order to ensure that your mission, your goals are accomplished at the end of the day, right? And later on, I'll talk about how you debrief. So the thing is, your mission, what you need to accomplish and why, the ground, the environment that might prevent your mission from being accomplished, right? You need to consider that, and how you will execute the task in order to accomplish your mission. As a combat leader, you need to know that combat leadership also speaks to considering the support that you would need, the external, internal support. What type of support you will need at the school as a school leader? Do you need the support of community, external support of community, right? A lot of times you might be having functions, and you perhaps need to get equipment from outside. What are the internal supports that you need? So you need to consider that in order to carry out your mission as a group, as the leader of a social work group. What type of support do you need? Vehicular support. Do you need support from the community leaders to take you in and create that social environment, that social connection, to initiate the rapport that you may need to go into the community, to build that trust with community members? So you must consider the support you need as a combat leader. You also look at the personal and impersonal support. Well, we talk about that, connecting with people, the persons to take you in. We call them gatekeeper in research, and introduce you to the community members and so on, community leaders, mean church leaders, etc. Right, and also impersonal support, tangible and intangible support. Let's call it that need to be initiated to get you into the community, and also to assist in having you accomplish your mission. Improvision, we cannot overemphasize, because sometimes the support that you have not readily available, and that you need, is not readily available. So the type of support that you have, you perhaps need to improvise to make it more effective and efficient for you. So as a combat leader, you have to think along that line. Think about war. You watch war movies, you see war going on now between Russia and Ukraine, at this time while I'm recording this lecture. So you may not get the needed support. Have a plan B, contingency plan. What if you don't get A? Have B. And would want to say you need to have B readily available, right? So if one fail, then you'll have the other to connect to, right? If you do not have vehicular support in the community as social workers, what's the plan B? that you're going to walk, um, to the various locations. And in doing that, you're perhaps going to need to ensure that you carry the proper gears, and you also need to ensure that you have the security support as well as you go along, because some of these communities might be a challenge in terms of crime, right? So you have to understand the plan B. The school leaders, you need a plan B as well. What is your plan B? What are your plan Bs? Sometimes you need to have A, B, and C, or as we say, plan Bs, right? But you need to ensure that if one doesn't work, you have the other close by in order to mobilize that other plan, so that you can get your mission accomplished. So we talk about the mission, the what and why, what you have to accomplish, and we talk about the ground, the environment that can affect your accomplishing that mission, and we talk about the sort of uh, as support that we need in order to carry out that execution which comes after the ground. You have to consider that, and it's important for you as a combat leader in your organization, because as I said to you, we can pull that combat leadership in war and bring it into your organization. And I'm looking at organizational leadership and the importance of combat leadership in organization, how effective it will be and can be. We suggest that you use it in your organization. If you're a student, consider writing on it, right? Consider doing some more research on it, so that you can implement it in your organization, the organization that you will work in, or the organization that you are working in, or you can implement it as a leader. Command and control. There's nothing we can do without this command and control aspect of leadership. And control doesn't mean manipulating your followers. It means creating and executing activities to ensure smooth running of things, and that is critical. Um, who is in charge? Let's talk about command. Who's in charge? Establish that as soon as possible. Always establish who is in charge. Yes, you don't. Yeah, you let them know that you are in charge. They would have known that. Your followers would have known that. However, you also, who is in charge, also speaks to your sub leaders, those who assist you, right? That's why you have vice principal, vice president, and so on, right? Those who will assist you, those who supervise, right? The middle management, right? You need to ensure that that is made clear at the beginning, so that there will be no problem in terms of command. Don't be afraid to delegate either. Delegation is important. Delegate where necessary. And I tell you this, delegation will always be necessary throughout your leadership role. Delegate, delegate. You cannot burn down yourself, and then you will not perform well, because we understand the challenges of burnout, and it also means that you will not be able to perform 100%. So delegate. Sub leaders, who do what and how. It's like policy and procedure. Policies are the what. Policy, the what. Procedure is the how you do the what. So you will say who do what, and how they do that what. Because you cannot have your sub leaders just doing as they would want to. You have to have a guideline, right? You have to have that policy, so to speak, as to what your sub leaders will do, and the procedure how they will do what they should do. So that's important in the command and control aspect of combat leadership. That's what we're talking about in the lecture, organizational behavior, combat leadership. So ensure that your sub leaders understand that. That is critical. We're still under command and control. Have we did mission already? We look at the ground, right? Mission what? Why? You know what you want to accomplish, the ground, the environment, right? And we look at how you execute the tasks that you need to perform to ensure that you accomplish your mission. And we look at the support that you may need, be it improvising or external, internal support. We also, we're now looking at command and control. And in command and control, let's also consider the way you control your group. How do you control your group? That need to be strategized in your strategic planning effort, um, way back when, right? So how will you control your group? That might change because people change, situation changes, and therefore the whole command and control aspect of things need to change within your organization, within your leadership approach, and how do you deal with this, control your group. And control, as I've said, uh, is not about manipulating your group or anything in your group, but about doing things in order to ensure that things run smoothly, right? So sub leadership can be used in order to control your group, because you cannot control the entire group. When we look at communication, you'll also understand that, right? Subgroups, you can split your groups, right? Split your groups so as to establish a better means of controlling your group. So if you have 20 people in your group, right? You said 5 here, 5 there, 5 there, or the 10, so that you have a sub leader with 10 persons and another sub leader with another 10 persons, right? Well, if you have 12 persons in your group, right? So you have to understand that, right? So basically what I'm saying, you subdivide your groups, right? Consider the figures there. Um, so you have to do that. You have to decide on the way to control your group, and those are some of the ways that you subdivide the groups, your larger group, and you establish sub leadership within each of those subgroup, right? And that's a good way to control your group as a combat leader. You see that in military actions. You watch war movies. You are looking at the war between Russia and Ukraine. Um, know your followers. Who are you working with? Know your followers. Know the persons in your departments. Know the persons in your school. Teachers. Know them. Principals, you need to know the teachers. You need to understand their needs. You need to understand the personalities of these teachers. You need to understand how they will respond to things. And another time we look at adaptive leadership, and you will see how important that is in order to understand your teachers, to be able to mobilize and motivate them, because not everybody is motivated or mobilized, easily mobilized the same. So observe them, talk to them now, chit chat in the lunchroom. As leaders, don't be invisible. Go into the lunchroom sometimes, sit down, have a snack, right? And chit chat with your workers, chit chat with the teachers, principals, and listen to them, laugh a bit, have fun. And indeed, those organizations that look at one of the function of management, right? This leadership thing, the lead is to really go out and have fun, social aspect of things. So it's important that you consider knowing your followers through that means, socializing. Very important. Don't be stucky, right? Go go out with them, have fun. And when I say go out, you're not going to be too friendly, but you're going to get to know them, right? When I say go out, if there's a function going on outside of school, take a trip, no? Yeah, drive there, a football match, right? Drive there and laugh with them and have fun with them, and you have to be flexible. It's a different thing when you get back, possibly, but the important thing is to get to know them and understand their needs and their personalities. So command and control speaks to that. Communication. I am big on communication, even my personal life, right? And business. I believe it's important to communicate, and communication as a combat leader means giving feedback and accepting feedback. Yeah, communication is two-way, right? So you have to be able to give feedback and accept feedback, right? Feedback during the mission, important, right? What's going on? Okay, so maybe we need to change here and change that. So if you're not communicating, you're not able to change in order to ensure that the execution aspect of things is reshuffled, so as to ensure that your mission is being accomplished. So there's a need to make change to the execution, the support, the command and control. And if there might be a need to do that, to make change to the execution, the support, the command and control. And if that happens, it means that the only way you can know what change to make, the changes to make, is to ensure that the communication stream is always open between you and your followers, or among your followers, and it's important to remember that. Give your number if necessary. Hey, how many persons that you lead have your number? Yeah, we know that there are company phones, office phones, and so on, that will not affect your personal number. So you don't have to give out your personal number. But the point is that there need to be some connection. There need to be some connection between you, some easy way of connecting with you. Trust me, you might find it funny, but look, even at night, right? During the night, you might need, they might need to contact you for various reasons. So it's important to understand that. Be visible or accessible. Hey, how visible are you on the ground? Talk about ground, the environment. You also are a reflection of the environment in your organization. Your being around, your being there will sort of create that control as well, right? That making things run smoothly, right? And people need to see you. Your workers, your followers need to see you from time to time. You will see it in war. They're out there saying, "Hey, I'm here," and it's critical for you to be able to understand that you need to be in your organization, be there. Not how much time do you spend on the ground, in your organization, right? You might be accessible through phone, but are you visible? What about the visibility? Um, you have to be there, principals, vice principals, right? And principal is not only the vice principal job. You are the principal. You have to be there. They need to see you. Students need to see you. Teachers need to see you, right? So you have to be there. So it's important that the participatory leadership also chips in as a combat leader. Help out sometimes, though. Participatory leadership, right? Being visible, yes, being accessible, but how do you go around and say, "Hey, let me help you with this"? Okay, you have some principals who will, who will go into the classroom and be an instructional leader, right? So yeah, administrator, but also sometimes dabbles into the instructional leadership part of it, classroom leadership, because most principals were classroom teachers. So what I'm saying to you is you have to be participatory. Be pragmatic. Let the followers know that, hey, you're not too big to do this. You can assist, right? You might not do it, so to speak, but you can assist, right? If you're moving some items, right? If they're moving some items and you stand there, just move a few items, as well, maybe four or five of them, and so let them see that, yeah, you can participate while they lead. And yeah, let them see that from time to time. That's combat leadership for you. This goes back to communication brief. Goes back to communication, right? Brief brief simply means to communicate at the beginning. I'd want to put it, right. Let your followers know. Don't let them wonder what's going on. They don't want to keep asking themselves or each other what's going on. You need to be able to communicate that as a combat leader, right, to your followers. In your organization, you need to do that. In your schools, teachers, anywhere you lead, communicate to your followers what's going on. And you need to do that occasionally, not just at the beginning. From time to time, that communication needs to go. You need to pull them in and brief them on what's going on, especially if there are changes. That's critical. Once there are changes, they need to understand the changes that took place, because they might just create problem for the mission if they do not understand what's going on or know about the changes. As soon as you are tasked, that's at the beginning, right? Let them know. Work out your plan mentally, on paper. Tell them your mission, your ground, support, command and control, communication strategies. So you need to let them know, hey, guys, this is our mission. This is where we'll be operating. Social workers. These are the communities that we'll be operating in. This is the geography of the community. This is the economy of the community. This is how the community members operate. This is what you may expect in the community, in communities that we'll be working in. So social workers will be able to understand what's going on and what to expect, and that will mean smooth running for you. Tell them about the support. What type of support? Social workers, you will get lunch from the community center, and it will come to us. A vehicle will bring it to us, and to you guys, and also you will get the sort of stationary support that you need from the nearby school. Also, you will be bussed from community to community each day. So tell them what type of support they will have, what type of internal support, what will you do from your end, from your office, to support them in terms of cellular phones, etc. Tell them about the command and control. As I said before, who is in charge on the ground? You might not be there, right, as the organization leader, but tell them who will be the sub leaders. How will they communicate, right? Maybe two persons, we're talking about social workers now, maybe two persons will go to that section of the community, another two persons will go to that section of the community. That one person of the two will be sort of in command, will be sort of responsible, and so on, right? So those are the things. Tell them about communication, right? Or we need to communicate. So let them know all of that at the start, and if changes happen, you brief again, let them know what's going on. So also, if you have sub leaders, those sub leaders we talk about, right? Brief them alone, and they will brief the group. Sometimes you cannot brief. Say you have 200 persons in the organization. Yeah, you may be not able to brief the 200 persons. So departmental leaders, pull them in, have a brief with them, have a meeting, right? And then each department leader will go out and brief the department, their own department, right? So you do that in order, and that speaks to control too, right? that speaks to control. Yeah, doing things smoothly. So you thought of controlling the group. So you brief the sub leaders, and the sub leaders will carry out their task to brief their whole department, right? If not, well, you can brief the entire group, right? But once you have sub leaders on the ground, brief the sub leaders, and they will brief their own group. Therefore, sub leaders need to ensure that they're listening. They understand. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions when you're being briefed. Yeah, because there should be a question and answer Q&A segment of the briefing, and don't be afraid to ask during that time. Write them down now and then ask them, because that's important. So debrief. Show more appreciation to your group. Please show more appreciation to your sub leaders. Appreciate them. Appreciate them. Let them know if they're doing a good job. Oh yeah, you did well today, social workers. We get feedback from the community. You have done excellent, and we appreciate that you have showed us how well you can execute the task, and we are happy for that. However, you did not talk to parents as much as we would have wanted you to do in order for the mission to be accomplished. And this is what you could do next time in order to ensure that you involve the parents. And even before you said that last part, you would get feedback from them, because they have to tell you the problem that they had in order on the ground, and then you will also ensure that you discuss, brainstorm, or we can get it done, get it better. Us, we can get it better. Participatory leadership, right? We can get it done better next time. You need to look at the finished work. What's going on? Let's see some report. Let's drive around the community sometimes and see what's going on there, right? If the task was accomplished, if there's a matter of behavioral modification, and is it that this is being accomplished? Maybe after a few months you drive around. Teachers walk around the classroom even before the end of school day, and see what's going on, see if things put in place. I know that principals walk around the classroom. I know that principals look at lesson plans. Yeah, but is the lesson plan being executed? Yeah, that lesson plan thing, that what? Yeah, and why? Yeah, is it being executed? You can use the lesson plan to, the what, why, the ground, the classroom, the execution of that lesson plan. Yeah, important. The support that teachers will get based on that lesson plan, the material support, and the intangible support, and the command and who's in control in the classroom. They have prefects and so on in the classroom. So this combat leadership thing can be used widely across the leadership spectrum of society. So again, tell them how well they did or did not do. Talk to them about the problems they had actually experienced, right? When during the task, getting the task done. Pass this on to persons who have tasked you. Yeah, because usually the organization leader would have the CEO, up top, and the CEO would have somebody else. Somewhere it's booked, but as you go up, those persons who are ahead of you or above you, inform them of what's going on. So it's important as well, to do that. You need to look at the finished work, and we talk about that, going around, seeing what's going on. Don't just sit there and say and take the word that, hey, this is finished and this is what's going on. Look at the finished work and see how best you can make changes, and perhaps it's not done well. Hey. So that's my lecture. I am Dr. Canute White. I've just looked at organizational leadership, looking at combat leadership in organizations, considering the whole combat aspect of war, bringing it into leadership aspect of war, bringing it into organization, bringing it into your leadership portfolio, be it in the schools, be it in other non-educational organizations. Because the school is an organization, don't forget that, right? Um, so you have to understand the importance of the mission in combat leadership, understand the importance of the mission, the things you do, right, and why. You have to understand the importance of the ground, the environment that you're operating in, or you'll execute the task to accomplish the mission, and the ground can affect that accomplishment as well. So you have to be able to understand the ground, and also you have to look at the support that you will need. Try to improvise if you are not able to get the support. Try to have a plan B, because plan A might not work, and you have to also consider the command and control. Control not meaning manipulating, but activities that will allow for smooth operation, smooth activities in order to get the mission accomplished. So enjoy your leadership role, no? Enjoy your leadership role in your organization, with your group, and continue to lead well. I am Dr. Canute White. Canyouth Exploration, your topic in a podcast, just exploring academic topic. A new segment of Canyouth Exploration. Yeah, we continue to do the regular interviews and so on as a podcast, right? This is also a part of the podcast. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.